What up guys, Sleepless MTG back with another video. Today we're playing Budget Artifact Aggro. Alright, this is an Artisan deck, so if you don't know what that means, no rares. Only uncommons and commons. We got a really loaded around, aggressive Artifact deck. Let's talk about a few of the cards. Alright, in the 1-drop slot, we got Swooping Lookout and Spyglass Siren. These are two really strong 1-drops. Swooping Lookout, 1 mana 1/2 with flying and vigilant. Spyglass Siren, 1 mana 1/1, but we get a map token when it enters, which is awesome because just about everything in this deck cares about Artifact. Other than that, we got Patchwork Automaton, which is going to be buffed by every creature in this deck. We're also playing 4 Zoetic Glyphs, so we can basically turn any creature into a 5/4. We can turn our map tokens into an extra creature, and then if it dies, the Zoetic Glyph goes to the graveyard and we get to discover 3 and hit just about everything in this deck. Other than that, we're playing a little bit of removal. We got the Glass Casket, Fading Hope for tempo, and Annex Sentry, which doubles as an artifact creature that can buff our Patchwork Automaton or be targeted with Zoetic Glyph, but it's also removal. These games are really cool. I think this deck is pretty powerful. It's a great starting point to jump on the rank ladder. I'm actually going to be playing this deck in a Kumite Streamer Showdown put on by Ace MTG. We're going to have max damage in it, Mithras in it, MTG Brew Labs, the Mana Man, Hand of Justice. Be sure to check that out. Stick around for these games. Stick around to the end for the deck list. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. Alright, we keep a pretty solid hand. We don't have blue mana, but we got the Lookout. We got Fading Hope. We're going to get down the Lookout. Opponent's going to play an Archivist. We're going to play our second land. Attack for 1. Set a stop for his upkeep and balance that Archivist. We find a Patchwork Automaton, which is great in this deck. Basically gets buffed by everything. Opponent's going to reslam the Archivist. We're going to play our Patchwork and attack for 1 again. Opponent plays Tribute to the World Tree, which basically makes anything under 3 power, and anything over 3 draws him a card. We're going to take out the Archivist with the Sentry and get in for 3 there. He plays another Archivist and a Worm. Starts buffing his creatures. We're going to play the Yotian Frontliner, buff our Patchwork Automaton, and play the Glyph on it. Turn him into a 7/6. It's pretty good for turn 4. We're going to get in there for 8, take him down to 7, and we got him in a really rough spot. Opponent buffs his creatures some more. It's getting pretty big. His synergy is really starting to pay off. He gets down that Patchwork Automaton as a 4/4. Play our Yotian Frontliner here. Buff our Patchwork Automaton again and turn our Lookout into a 5/4 flying vigilance. And if it dies, we get to discover 3. Really great in this deck. He's going to do some blocking. We're going to take out the Automaton. We get to play a Siren off our dying. And we're looking pretty solid here. Got the opponent dead in the air, so he's going to play the Thread Spider, and we get a Power Stone. He buffs all his creatures again, and here is my punt. The game should have been over. I'm going to explore on the Siren, and I go to attacks. And instead of bouncing the Spider beforehand, I wait till I attack. Oh, no, no. Opponent's going to buff his creatures again. Now they're getting extremely huge. Replays the Spider. And the tides are kind of turning here, but it's not over yet. We are at 20. We got our opponent at 9. Alright, I'm going to play the Glyph on a Power Stone. Do some buffing one of my Yotian Frontliners. I'm really aggressive here because he's going to win in the long game. We got to get him down, get it over. I know I'm going to get a couple of permits off these Zoetic Glyphs, and we do. We get a Gingerbrute and a Glass Casket to take out his Archivist. He's going to play the Rust Goliath. Gets a bunch of triggers. Grows his team even more. Comes in with a pretty large attack here. We got a block. I'm going to block the biggest one. It's going to double the Archivist's power, and we go down to 3. Off the top, we draw the Gingerbrute. Go in for attack here. Buff the Gingerbrute all the way. Can't block everything, and we win just by the skin of our teeth. Alright, going into game 2 here. Solid hand. Got the Lookout. Got the Justiciar. Got some lifelink action going on. Got the Zoetic Glyph up against the rakdos sacrifice deck. Not sure if he has anvil in there somewhere. Never saw it. But this journal and the Urbas Forge works really well together. He gets to draw cards. He's always got creatures to sack. Pretty decent attack here. We're going to go back up to 23. He's going to wipe the board. Gets hit for 2. Luckily, we have another Justiciar plus the Glyph. We're going to go with a Gingerbrute here and just turn it into a 5/4 haste. Take him down to 10. Unfortunately for us, he has the Twisted Fealty. Gets in for a really big attack here and sacks our guy. But we get to get value off the Glyph. And we find a Patchwork Automaton. Nothing for the Glass Casket. So we're just going to buff the Automaton and take him down to 8. Very back and forwards. Opponent definitely has a very powerful deck. We take a big chunk of damage here. Go down to 7. He gets down to Ob, which again works really well with our Urbas Forge. We'll have to check out his deck. I really like it a lot. We get it, the Yotian Frontliner, and get the buff our team, play the Glass Casket, get rid of his Devil, and we take him down to 2.
Let's go.
I suppose it's possible that we should have attacked his Ob, but to take him so low and really put him on the back foot just seemed like the better play. Fortunately, he steals our Frontliner. He gets in for a huge attack and just ends it. Alright, let's go into match 3 here. Another solid hand. Got the Lookout, got the Frontliner, got the Experiment, got this Retrofitter. Start off with this Lookout. Opponent's going to get down a Ruby, put Audacity on it. He's starting off strong. Let's get our Automaton down, get in for 1 here. Monster's Rage. Ooh, coming in for 8. It's a pretty big attack, but we're just going to take it. Get down our 3rd land. Fading Hope's nice here. We're going to play our Frontliner, buff our Automaton. Play our Gingerbrute, buff our Automaton some more. And another pretty nice attack. Starting off strong. We got the Yotian Frontliner to block if they can somehow protect the Ruby from this Fading Hope. We're about to play on their upkeep. We don't need that land. Let's get rid of that. They do get to draw off the Audacity. Gonna replay the Ruby. Get down a Spell Slinger. We get another Patchwork Automaton. So I debate about playing the Retrofitter, and I decided to go for it. Question is, what do we buff? We're just going to buff the Lookout. I thought about buffing the Automaton, but if they want to kill the Automaton, they got to double block it either way. So this guarantees more damage. They're just going to take it. I'm going to play Roll Treatment on the Spell Slinger, which I thought was kind of weird. But they got a big attack here. We're going to play it safe and triple block. I decided to block with the Lookout because if I block with the Retrofitter, it's not going to be a 4/4 anymore either way. We made the correct decision because they buffed the hell out of that Spell Slinger. We go down to 9. We play our Automaton. We're going to unearth this Frontliner and go for a pretty big attack here. It does force them to block. They don't block the Automaton. Now this is kind of risky because if they have a buff spell or they draw a buff spell, we're pretty much dead. But we block just in case. We go down to 6 and we got them on the back swing even through that Spell Slinger. Alright, we're going to go into our first ranked cube game. It's a decent hand. We don't have any islands, but we got plenty of stuff to do. We got the Frontliner, the Justiciar, we got a Gingerbrute. Looks like we're up against Selesnya. We're going to get in for 1 with this Gingerbrute. Then get down a Naturalist. It's definitely not good. Wish we had a removal spell for that, but we're going to play a Justiciar. We draw an island here, and we can put it on that Justiciar. Would have been insane, but we're not that lucky.
Disappointed!
So we're going to double up on our Gingerbrute and our Frontliner. Get in for a big attack. Perhaps we shouldn't attack with everything, so we do lose a creature, but we get to go up to 24. He's going to play the Calyx, buff his Naturalist, and we don't draw a 3rd land. But we get to play our second Justiciar, buff everything. We're going to attack with the Frontliner. Try to gain some more life. We take them down to 9, but they gain 4, go back to 13. We're at 28, so even though we're stuck on land, so is our opponent. And it doesn't look too terrible for us, but he kind of starts going off thanks to the mana reduction from Naturalist and the triggers from Visitor and Calyx. We block here. We're still at 28. Opponent's at 22. Play some creatures. We get to buff our team and gain quite a bit of life. And of course, we drew our third land, but it wasn't an island, so could have been better for sure. He's going to make this Naturalist pretty insane here. 10-10 lifelink. Then here comes an Audacity. 12-10, 13-10. Another Saga to buff him. 21-19. Ouch. Which, amazingly enough, we only go down to 16. Opponent does go up to 33. Finally draw our island. Put the glyph on one of our Justicars. We're going to buff it. We're going to go for a big attack here. Game's kind of out of our control, but I just wanted to see what our deck could do. We get the experiment off the glyph, but opponent's about to go insane here with triggers. I mean, that's what, a 33-31. Calyx is 11-9. We go down to negative 21. He goes up to 63. Alright, we're going to get into our next ranked match. Pretty decent hand. We got the Automaton, we got Zoetic Glyph, and the experiment. Opponent's going to go off a little bit here. A bunch of 1-drops. They're going to get bigger over time. We get down to our Automaton. Opponent's going to come in with a big attack. I just decided to take it and go down to 12. He gets down on a tribute to the world tree. I'm going to play the Zoetic Glyph, and I just get in for 5 here. 12 seems like a decent life total. I think we can stabilize the next turn with the Glass Casket and grow on our Automaton. I decide to take out, I think it's the pack leader here, yeah, because I believe that's going to get bigger over time, but he has a top war stand. If we throw down an experiment, we get a really big Automaton attack in here, take him down to 8, and we're at 6. We got a blocker, he's got a Canker Bloom. Coming in here for 8, it destroys our blocker and takes us out, unfortunately. Alright, let's get into our final ranked match here. Pretty decent hand. 1-drops, 2-drops. We got the Justicar. We got Removing the Sentry. And we got our 3 lands. Up against Mono Red. He's just playing his usual Mono Red things. Phoenix Chick. He's going to play a land and pass, which is kind of strange. But he gets in for 1 here. Play our 3rd land drop. Going to play a 2nd Justicar. Boost our 1st one. And try to get in here for some life gain damage. And it eats a lightning strike. But he does take 1. Goes down to 18. Plays a Kumano. We go down to 17 and plays the Inti. Triggers off of that. No discard. We're going to play our Sentry here and get rid of that Inti. Attack here. Gain some life. Back up to 20. Take our opponent down to 13. He plays a Godric, which is definitely not great for us. We go down to 15. We're going to play the Retrofitter. Turn our Justicar into a 4-4. Gain 5 here. Take our opponent down to 6. Looking pretty good against Mono Red. That life gain is coming in handy for sure. Opponent gets in with the Phoenix Chick. And frenzies our Justicar, which is a pretty big blow for us. Got a Gingerbrute and an experiment. Attack with the Ontis and the Gingerbrute. Boost up our Gingerbrute. Godric blocks the Ontis. We take him down to 4. Starting to stabilize.
Disappointed!
No, here comes the play with fire. Gets in with the Phoenix Chick. It's going to hold back everything else to a blocker. Witchstalker Frenzy takes out our Sentry. Gets back Inti. We do get 2 Gingerbrutes here. And I make a Fatal Punt and realize that Etchings of Kamano has haste and can block Gingerbrute.
Well.
Now we're down to 1 creature. Here comes a giant attack. Not much we can do. Down to 13. Opponent still at 4. And we draw dead with a land. Here comes the Epicure. Take us down to 12. It's going to trigger Godric. It's going to do some fire breathing. Coming in for 8 here. Plus a trigger off the Inti. Down to 4. And we draw Unctus. It just doesn't do much. We can turn Gingerbrute into a 4/4, but unfortunately he has etchings to block him, and we just don't get there. Yep, big attack. Come on, opponent. You know you got us. There we go. And the Monstrous Rage to rub it in. Alright guys, you saw those games. There's definitely something here. This is a great start to a deck that you can take on the ladder. I did switch out the Rectifiers for 3 Reign of Truth. I think it's going to be much more powerful in this deck. But try them both ways. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. And look out for a future stream of Kumite that Ace MTG is putting on. We got Max Damage, MTG Brew Labs, a whole bunch of other people. We're going head to head, and we're going to fight it out to who's best. Alright, that's all for today. We'll see you in the next one.